Okay. So oil immersion. Oh boy, I feel like I have a chorus there. All right. For oil immersion, you need to first of all locate something interesting to look at. All right. So you got to center your specimen at low power, just like you've been doing anyway. Nothing surprising, I hope, about that. Okay, get it centered at low power, bring in the next one, focus that with your fine adjustment. Okay, and bring in the next one. Remember, look from the edge or the side, and focus with your fine adjustment some more. Center it a little better on exactly what you think you want to look at. Okay. And adjust your contrast as well a little bit underneath. At the higher powers, contrast adjustment and brightness make a big difference in how easily you can observe something. You generally need more contrast and more brightness the higher power you go. All right, good. Okay, so I have a selection of the climbing legs here, climbing and swimming legs. All right, now for oil. The point of the oil is to eliminate air from the space between the slide and the objective lens. All right, the slide's like this, objective lens is like this. Both of them are made of glass, but when the light path goes through the glass and then into the air, it bends a little bit, right? And it goes back to the lens, bending back again. So it's two bends, and that means it's going to be more distorted than if it's a straight light path. So this oil is designed to have the same refractive index, it's called in physics, okay, refractive index as the glass itself. So when the light comes into the oil, it then goes straight through and gets to the lens. That's the idea. No distortion, so we can go to 1000x fairly easily. Check that you're very centered and pretty nicely focused. Now, here's the main technique. With your coarse adjustment, lower stage. Do not touch the specimen, all right? If you touch the specimen, it's gonna be out of center and it's hard to find it again. So you lower it straight down to the bottom, grab your oil, and put a very small drop. I'm not even really aspirating it here, I'm just kind of touching it to the oil there a little bit. Very small drop in the light in the center there, in the center of that circle of light, like that, all right? Just right there where the light's coming up. You know that's where the object is you want to look at. Now, looking from the side carefully, bring in your 1000x. And this is a big mistake a lot of people make. They forget. They try to use the 400x with the oil. And that actually hurts the 400x, means more you have to clean up, and there's no purpose in it. So bring in the black and white objective here, which is oil immersion, and bring it up with your coarse adjustment like this. You guys all bend down. This is funny looking, but you have to do it. Everyone bends down. You raise it up very carefully using my coarse adjustment until it touches and down. Did you see it?
Yeah.
You see what happened? Then you can use your fine adjustment and raise it a little more. Half a turn. Let's go even one whole turn. All right, one whole turn with a fine adjustment. And it is still not touching the glass if everything is done correctly. Which way was I moving it to bring it up? Away from me, right? Okay, turning like the top of the focus is going away, right? So now I want to keep going that way because it's still below the focal plane, all right? So look in here now, add a little brightness usually helps, and continue to bring it up closer and closer until you're in focus. I'm not getting anything. No, I am. How many? That was like 4 turns. 5 turns. Ooh, that's pretty cool, actually. That was like 5 times around, all right? And I don't know, let's borrow a phone here and see what we see in there. These are climbing legs at 1000x. Right? So you can see the fine detail of the teeth on the edge of these legs. These are not chewing teeth. These are actually barbs that help them hold onto the plants when they're climbing around. They're like hooks, all right? So that's 1000x, and you can actually move it around a little bit, but don't overdo it, because your field of view now is how big? 180, right? It's really small. So, and if you move it too much, you're going to get away from where the oil is, right? So you can move around a little bit and see some other things in there. But do make sure you adjust your contrast as well, all right? It's going to help. That's basically it, all right? Now take it down. If you don't want to look at it anymore, you go down like that, take it off, dab the oil off. What does dab mean? Anybody know?
Dab.
Dab. Dab is like, here's your objective, is dab a little bit of tissue. Touch it, don't wipe it, all right? Wiping is bad, that might scratch the lens, but dab the oil off. Don't leave your oil on the 100x. One more thing I should tell you, and then you can work. If you do the whole thing and you can't see anything because the slide moves somehow by accident, go back to your lower power, 100x is okay, and bring it all the way up. It won't touch the oil, hopefully. All right, bring it up and refocus it as you go down to find that spot you liked, all right? Don't use 400 because 400 will touch the oil, right? Use the 100 and you can find where you were again and start over. All right, like that. Bring it back into place. Bring it up carefully. Touch it, fine adjustment. Bring it back into place. Okay, yeah, that's good. Okay. I'm gonna leave it.